Lovelies, and welcome back to the channel. Yes, you read the title of this video right. The UK is truly not hard. You just lack information. It's a bit harsh, but yes, it's the truth. And while this is true for most people, some people have received some information, like myself, upon entry into the country and just fell into the rat race, which is more or less like what I spoke about 2 weeks ago when I addressed this video. If you haven't watched it, I will link it in the cards up here for you to click up and catch up on the video. And if you've watched that video, this will be building on that. So, quick introduction. My name is Tola. For those who are just joining us for the very first time, welcome to the channel. If you like what you see, please consider subscribing and turning on your post notifications. That way, anytime we release new videos, at least once a week, you get notified. All right, to the OGs, thank you so much for coming back on the channel and listening to me rant. Today we are just talking about some things that obviously the UK stand and abides by, and those who operate by this principle just have a seamless experience here, while those who are like me and have coconut head struggle a lot before they actually get it or eventually get it right. So without much ado, let's just get into the very first point, which is to do your research. Now, if you followed me all through my healthcare journey, when I got the job, when I started working, and I started talking about my experiences, what I've learned, this was one thing I emphasized on. So from the beginning of 2020 up until the tail end of 2023, I was emphasizing on do your research, because that was when we had an influx of immigrants, especially from my home country, Nigeria. All right, so when you are coming to a country, it doesn't matter if it is the UK or any country you're going to. This is true for every single place. Either you're going on vacation, you are planning to immigrate, you're planning to just go see family. Depending on the time of the year, depending on wherever it is you are going, always do your research. There's nothing worse than having your whole family uprooted from one part of the world, move to another part of the world, and then you're just met with surprises because you didn't know about it. Genuinely. But these are things that could have been avoided if you had done your due diligence and, gone ahead to research the country. We're talking about the financial infrastructure, the schooling, what it is like there, post-grad, while you are an undergrad. It depends on whatever stage of life you are in, depending on the dynamics of your family. You might have younger children, you might have older children. I mean, I've had people who are coming to the UK and didn't know that you could not leave children who are below a certain age by themselves while you go and work. Like, they didn't know. You also hear funny stories of people who didn't know that you are supposed to renew your visas. I mean, for a family of 4 or 5, you don't know you're supposed to renew. You think it's automatic. As soon as you come in, you're set. No, it does not work that way. Research. Whether it is the weather of the area that you're moving to, the type of transportation, talking about feeding, cost of living in that area. Always do your research. The cost of living in Darlington, where we moved to originally, and where I'm staying right now, worlds apart, completely different. Talking about the rents in this area, talking about the rents back in Darlington. What we're paying here is times 2 of what we used to pay in Darlington, and that's for basically 1 room more. So research, so that you don't come and tell stories that touch when funds are depleted and bills are waiting and you have children. Content creators are not gov.uk. That's why it pains me sometimes when I make a video or I talk about a particular thing, I try to analyze it, and then you go to the comment section, especially when I used to do healthcare content. I'll take a particular topic, maybe it's how to find jobs in the UK, and I will dissect what the process is step by step, and you will still see in the comment section where someone will say, what is a DBS, what is police clearance, how do I get it? Am I the one that's going to tell you every single thing? Like, when you are moving, don't let it be someone else's responsibility to, oh, she didn't say anything about this. So there's a lot for you to do as a person, especially if you're moving with children. You want to make sure that you have covered all your bases, make sure that you are completely sure, and even if not 100%, at least be close to 80% sure. That's the beautiful thing about this country. Everything is online. You can access information, go on the government website, go on the council website. You'll be able to find details right down to the area where you are house searching or job hunting for, or maybe you just gotten accepted at your university and you are trying to find out, okay, what's the housing situation in this area. Everything is online. You can be able to find the range of housing. You can find the range of what it is for daycare, things like that. Everything is online. You don't have to rely on anyone online to give you facts about. You can do your research yourself. That's the beautiful thing about a country where everything is documented and you have access to it. Also, if you're looking for a school for your children, you have access to the list of schools in that area. And if you are looking for houses as well, it will tell you the distance from the school to the house, so you are able to check, is this feasible? You are also able to see the Ofsted. The Ofsted is just the rating of the school to see if the school is in good standing or needs some work. You are able to see all this information. Is all on the council. So do your research and find out as much as you can. There's nothing like too much. You cannot over prepare to immigrate or to travel or whatever. So yeah, check, fact check, always check, double check, triple check, do your checks. All right, so number 2 is be humble. You see this one? Let's drink water first. Okay, so number 2, be humble. See, I don't know why it is. I don't know if it's just my country people or if it's, I don't know, an African thing. I don't know. But I just feel like some of us, we come to this country with like 3 or 4 shoulders. We come and nobody can talk to me because I brought my family. Hello? Be humble. See, there's one thing that has taught me a lot, having lived in 2 separate countries. People are your second best source of information. You get everything online. If it's a country that is big on documentation like this country, if it's a country that is well advanced and they have good structure. And when you listen to people, you'll be able to hear some nuggets. You'll be able to learn from their experience, get timely information that you might not have heard anywhere else. Now, this does not downplay your research, personal research, but having someone to talk to, that's why I stressed this on my last video. The power of community. If you are not someone who is teachable, let's be calming down. As far as I've known, ever since I was a little girl, I've had my mom's auntie live here and work here. She's retired now. She's still here. I learned a lot about the UK from her through our conversations. Every time we go over to her place and she would just talk, I had learned a lot about how the structure, just growing up and listening to this woman talk. I've learned a lot from her. So I got a comment with this video and someone said, this is why we don't advise people, because they think that we're trying to hinder them. Personally, I would say that I won't let that stop me from, giving out my best advice or saying things that I feel like will help the next person. However, you cannot force this information down people's throats. You will say what you can, but if you want to learn for yourself or see for yourself, there's nothing wrong with it. The only thing, like I said, is it makes the journey longer. And like the Bible always says, pride always goes before what is for. Thank you. Next point. Number 3, don't be set in your ways. I say this to families. And when I say families, I'm talking about husband and wife. So I've not come to divide you. I've come to talk to the 2 of you. And by extension, myself. Okay, now I shared this in my last video that before I came in, I had sat at home for 8 years and my family was all I knew. And when I came in, I had to go out and work. Now, if I had a husband that thought that, okay, I never used to be the primary caregiver in this house. Now that we are working, that should not disturb you from looking after the children. And when you come back, you take over where you left from. You think I would not have run mad? No. Something would have happened. Something would have occurred if the man did not take charge. You get what I'm saying? So there's a place for compromise. I have seen and I have heard that some men don't want to help out with children. I have seen where some men lash out because their children are now looking to them as primary caregivers because the wife is now out of the house working, or maybe they're working shifts and it's the man's time to look after the children. Why? Are these not your children as well? Now, the dynamics of this country, you have to be here to understand. Like I said, the first job you get, if it's a minimum wage job where you have to be out of the house for hours, you and your partner have to share responsibility with the children and with the upkeep of the home. It will be quite painful and sad to see one person struggle to juggle everything at the same time while the other person just focuses on themselves alone. That would be selfish, extremely selfish, and it leads to breakdown. That's why you see people who were doing fine back home come here and struggle, because they don't understand the dynamics of the country. Where will you leave your children? Who will take care of the children if the woman is not around? And I said this for the men. Now for the women, like being in my situation where you had never worked before, and then you now come here and you have to go and work, and you say, no, I'm a baby girl for life. I must stay at home and continue to be my baby girl for life. It's okay. It's okay. When it's time for visa and you have used all the money to pay bills, you are gonna know. Because when they charge you for family, when you came here, I tell you to bring heads to church, you don't know. You are gonna, the mucus in your left nose will go to the right one. It's a saying. It means that you're going to struggle. Like it's going to be hard. It's going to be really, really hard if you are not willing to put in some efforts and carry your weight. And the both of you bring something to the table so that the table is not empty. So that this table still has 4 legs when UKVI come and it's time to renew visa. Okay? So there's a role for everyone to play. The children play their role. The parents play their role. I say that before you come in, it's actually part of the things you should start to do. Not just preparing yourself, oh, we're going to travel, we'll get clothes, we'll sell off our things. Prepare your children's mind, because everybody has a role to play. There's a level of maturity that comes with living in a place like this. So if your husband is not someone who's hands-on and you are preparing to come, or you are still thinking, or you are here already, there's a way you need to have a sit down and table it. I don't see why you need to explain that you're burnt out, but you need to talk. You need to have a conversation and let everybody know that, you know, this is what we all need to do for this family to keep thriving. So number 4 is to act fast. There's one thing I've noticed about the UK in the 3+ years that I've been here, is the fact that the laws are constantly changing. UK is one country that always reforms their legislation, especially when it comes to immigration. They are always fine-tuning the visa routes, the different categories, and the different criteria that these categories hold. Now, when it comes to the student visas, there has been a lot of change and reform over the years. Also, when you talk about, you know, work visas, like the healthcare route, there's been a lot of reform. There's been a lot of changes over the years, and which is not strange, because I always anticipate this, and I always tell everyone, if you see a route that looks like something that might be suited to you, jump on it, do your research, find out everything you need to know about it, and start making moves. Do not wait or dilly-dally or just say, oh, I'll get to it next year. It might change next year. It might change over the next couple of months. So it's always good to be on top of information. Set your notifications on gov.uk. That's your primary source of information. That's where you get all the information, up-to-date information. As it happens, as it changes, it's always updated on the gov.uk website. So whatever route you see, make sure that you're acting promptly. Make sure that you are very proactive. Make sure that your information is up-to-date. Now, if you've seen any of my videos from a couple of years ago, don't go by those information from way back then, because that's not the current information as of now, because things are always changing. Things are frequently changing. So if you watch one YouTube video years ago, don't go by that information. What you need to understand when it comes to influencers or people like me who create content around immigration or, you know, Jackba, we are making information as they hot. So when it happens, we make this update. When you are ready, please refer back to UKVI. Refer back to gov.uk. Always fact check before you put your application in. It's always down to you, because at the end of the day, it's your money you're putting on the line. It's your family you're putting on the line. So make sure that you have done your due diligence. It ties back to my first point, to do your research and make sure that you act fast. My 5th and last point goes without saying, which is to have a saving habit. Whether you are 1 or you are 2 or you're a family, you know that you will need to renew visa, right? You know, okay. And when they ask you to renew that visa, it's not money that you can just say, so how much is it? You have to have been saving. You need to have been saving. You need to have some money. The only way you can be able to do this stress-free is to always save. So that's why you don't eat with all 10 fingers, like my people will say. You eat and reserve some. Save, always save, always save. There's no amount that is too small. still on the saving matter, when I first came into the UK, when you come into a country, there are ways you could set up your house on a budget, and that's with thrift stores, with affordable stores like, you know, Poundland and things like that. You don't have to go for the expensive ones. I see people come into the country and they are buying tear bar, couch, washing machine, dishwasher. You are using okay, because I don't really know everyone's pocket, but I'm just saying, like, if you are new in the country and there's a way for you to have a soft landing in another country, especially with a country that has a higher money value than your own, and you're not taking advantage of thrift stores or affordable stores, you're not looking on Facebook Marketplace for items, you are carrying gun. You are carrying gun at night. You want to change your wardrobe, or you just want to get one or two accessories, and you are looking at Zara as a newcomer in the country. You're not looking at Shein. You're not looking at thrift stores. You're carrying gun. You are carrying gun at night. That's what you're doing. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not angry. I cannot think of using £400 to buy appliance when I first came to the country. When I got washing machine for £50 when I came to the country on Facebook Marketplace. When you can get a fridge for like £50, you can buy a couch for like £50. It's wisdom. It's wisdom. We need wisdom. We need it. We need it. As a matter of fact, let me even enter African market. You want to buy African food, you love your Nigerian food like me, and you are not really prioritizing Asian stores. You think African stores are cheaper. Look again. Go and check the price. Check it. And then you come back and we'll talk. A word is enough for the wise. These are the things that I have learned over the years in this country, and that's what this channel will be focused on this year, because why? We must fly. So yeah, if you have any more video suggestions that you would like me to tackle, I will be going into the similarities between South Africa and UK very soon. And this is not to bash any country, but just to share my experience living in both countries. So yeah, that's what my next video will be about, so stick around for that. If you've liked today's video, please let me know in the comment section. Also, if you have any points to share with us, let's continue the conversation in the comment section. I do my best to respond to every single person. Also, like this video and share. Don't be selfish. Please share this information. It does a lot to help my analytics and also get other people to see this video. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah.